I'm going to showcase you the exact steps to take to generate revenue with data analytics and business intelligence. Many organizations rush straight into development thinking they will, if they track more metrics, develop custom analytical dashboards, solutions, trackers, advanced analytical solutions like machine learning, AI, they will receive a greater ROI much more faster. Well, that is very incorrect, and often than not results in no ROI or no ROI in the first 6-12 months, and of course very low adoption rates. We implemented multiple data analytical infrastructure business intelligence systems, aka over 25, and that enable companies to turn their raw data into actually actionable insights. We understand that to bridge a gap between business and data, a lot of those key steps, aka magic, happens even before the development even starts, meaning into the data strategy. That's why we emphasize the importance of data strategy so much, because we know that generates 80% of the success. Now, why should you even listen to me or listen to this video? Well, let me scroll below. Why should you listen to me? Well, I've been responsible, and our team has been responsible for driving over plus $10 million in pure revenue, aka cash collected, by bridging the gap with business and data, and actually helping companies to utilize data more effectively, to turning their raw data into actionable insights, implementing custom analytical solutions, dashboards, business intelligence, and of course, driving growth with data analytics. We work with multiple sectors, from service-based businesses, technical businesses, aka tech industry, private equity agencies, and so on and so forth. And our currently goal is helping more and more businesses to turn their raw data into actionable insights, implement custom data analytical ecosystems, aka infrastructures, business intelligence, create custom analytical dashboards, and so on and so forth. Basically, increase their data maturity curve so they're able to scale, grow using data analytics, because it's a must. Now, here are some of the solutions that we already generated, aka created, and here are some of what our clients have to say. Okay, one of our solutions generated way over plus $8 million in revenue since starting with us in under 12 months. And you can stop this video, or you can pause it, and you can scroll this down however you want to here. Now, basically, here's the exact steps that every single company, whoever wants to become a data-driven organization, aka utilize data analytics, needs to do before even starting the development, right? This is the exact process that we utilized for one of our clients. Well, now currently for every single one of our clients, that generated way over plus $10 million in under 12 months using this framework. And of course, every single one of our clients goes through this exact framework, so we are able to bridge the gap between data analytics and business. Now, as I go through this framework, you will notice that basically the framework is based on 3 main levels. It's based on the first level, which is top company level, which everything starts there. We need to understand the goals, the needs, the priorities, the challenges, the North Star KPIs. Then it goes to the department level, which we understand every single thing that we understand at the top company level, but more in depth. Their business processes. We map out their business processes. We map out their top KPIs. We understand their goals, their needs, what is the success, how they measure success in that specific department. Who is in that specific department? What stakeholders and executives are involved? Then at the end, we have the end user. Okay, these are the users, executives, stakeholders, front-end managers, product managers, and so on and so forth. Okay, who is going to be actually utilizing these solutions, meaning CEOs, founders, and so on. Basically, anybody who is going to be utilizing data analytics, data analytics dashboards, and so on and so forth. We go to them, interview them, and actually understand even more in depth. This is things like their decision-making processes and so on and so forth. Now, let's go in depth to see. Now, there are in this example, there are 10 key milestones, which I summarized it through our whole process, which are the most important, right, before even starting the development. Now, the current state, basically, this is the top company level, which we need to understand the current state of the company. We identify the current state by asking what are the challenges, what are the current processes you have overall, what are the sections, okay, departments you have, what are your top priorities, what are your top goals right now, and of course in the 12-month span or 24-month span. How does your org chart look like? What systems, processes you use, and so on and so forth. And based on that information, we understand what is their position, or you can understand watching this video if you're going to do it for your organization. What is your position inside of the data maturity? Data maturity is how effectively you're currently utilizing data analytics. We understand how currently they're actually utilizing data analytics by utilizing this basically framework by asking them. This is most often conducted with a CEO, aka stakeholders. And you can screenshot this video. Let me move my face out of the way. You can screenshot this video, picture, see this data maturity, and you're gonna ask yourself, and based on your interviews, or based asking or having a conversation with your co-founders, board members, you can assess and analyze where you're currently heading, what is your current place inside of the data maturity curve, right? And of course, I'm not going to go through them right now because it's going to be way too long, but 99% of the companies are in the first three, in the chaotic, reactive, and defined. And of course, the goal is to get as much bigger to optimized, right? Which you're currently, the optimized is the space where you're starting to use AI, machine learning, advanced analytics, and so on and so forth, right? But of course, this is just like a data maturity curve, which is more simplified. But of course, the data maturity curve can be more complex. But this one is the best to use if you're going to utilize it to develop basically to start your data analytics initiative. Then we go into the second phase, which is the future state. We understand what are the goals, which I already explained. What are your future processes? Maybe what are you currently hiring? Are you hiring anybody? We are listing out anybody who is a part of this, meaning the key stakeholders, C-level executives, and so on and so forth. We understand the core goals, needs, and priorities, and of course the North Star KPIs. What is the top priority KPIs that you measure success of the company? Is that the churn rate decrease? Is that increasing the profit margins, EBITDA, revenue, user acquisition, retention, engagement, MUA, aka MAU, aka monthly active users on the platform, if you're a technical company? Is this limiting, aka decreasing the delivery time if you're a logistical company, and so on and so forth, right? Then we go in the third step, which is the tech tools assessment. This can be conducted also in the current step, but I split it for a specific reason in the third step, because many people forget this because they think current state is just like goals, needs, priorities, people, and processes, and that's it. No, it's tech and tools as well. Basically, this basically tells us, and you need to assess what are your current technologies and tools that you use, aka data analytical technologies specifically, meaning are you using any BI, are you using spreadsheets? This is a technology. How are you currently conducting your data analytics? Are you having any reporting processes involved? What are the key data sources that you're currently having? What are the key processes and roles that are in charge for this? Meaning, what does that mean? This means, let's say you are in the under marketing department, who is in charge of changing the link, aka UTMs. If we are going to track what is our lead source, this is very key, because if it's not changed accordingly at specific time frame, or it's alerted that some links are inactive, or so on and so forth, our analytics is going to be inaccurate. Okay, our data is going to be actually inaccurate. Basically, responsibilities and roles. And of course, data governance practices, which basically means, are we aligned on these KPIs? Do we have our dictionary? How do we define leads, okay, metric? How do we define key North Star success metrics? What does that? How basically everything that every single person is asking, documented, right? Meaning, imagine like having a dictionary. Let's say you need to understand. What in this data analytical world we call this data dictionary, business glossaries, which are the documents, standardized documents, which is explained every single thing that if somebody has a question, they go inside of this specific documents platform, whatever you want to do it in, and they can get the answer from. Meaning, if they are wondering how this is calculated, how is the definition about these metrics, they can go and find about it. Okay, basically that's how it works. And of course, if you're wondering what is this picture, these are the tools. You need the data sources. You have your data sources. You have your data transportation, okay, how we extract, transform, and load the data. You have your data warehouse where the data is going to be located, okay, stored. And you have your data visualization pieces, okay, Power BI, where you're going to be visualizing your data. Of course, you have your data platform. You have your data governance tools, which are unnecessary if you're just starting out. If you have your real-time event data, if you're tracking, let's say if you have operational data, you have data that has to be transported, ingested real time, you can utilize Kafka, Segment. You have your data and transformation tools, which are like dbt for data modeling and so on and so forth. And you have your reverse ETLs, aka orchestration tools, basically helping with data management and just organizing the data to be more effective. And so this whole process, aka architecture, what we call, functions seamlessly and autonomously. Now, basically, and of course, in this specific, as I already said, this can be conducted under the current state. And because after that, you're gonna understand what tools and tech you're gonna be maybe changing or needing based on the next steps that I'm just gonna showcase you guys. Then we go under the department level. As you can see here, we are under the department level, which we basically conduct similar stuff which we already done. We need to uncover things and understand the key insights. What are the tech and tools and softwares that they're using? What are the exact processes of how that specific department is functioning? Okay, the best thing is to map out the business processes of that specific department, right? Then we understand and ask the question: what department is the most gonna be the most benefit the most from data analytics? Okay, from receiving more insights, right? And we ask ourselves which department is going to be the most feasible, right? And we're going to be able to implement prioritization metrics, which is going to tell us at which department are we going to start. Meaning, are we going to start at marketing department, sales department, product department, finance department, or manufacturing department? We're going to be able to utilize and see, okay, where do we have the highest business value and it's the easiest to start. And 99% of the times, it's going to be marketing or sales department, straight up. Also maybe even finance, right? And you're gonna start there because we want to start and get the quick wins fast. Then we go and conduct stakeholders and user interviews. As you can see here, we are now here. Here we can basically conduct the key stakeholders interviews, which we basically ask every single thing about a specific end user who's going to be using analytical solutions, dashboards, and so on and so forth, actually utilizing data analytics. We ask them, how do they think? How do they measure success? What are the top priority metrics? We give them a list to map out key business questions they have in mind. We have the exact framework here. Let me just pop this up so you're able to see it. You're able to map out the exact business questions for that specific end users, the current way of answering, challenges of current way of answering it, ideal way of answering it, link to existing trackers, other departments that are going to benefit from that, the time frame that it has to be. Do you want to see this data from 2023 all the way to now, or how do you want to see it? Why do you want to see it from 2023? Everything, their way how they think, their decision-making process, and so on and so forth, right? And we are able to do that. Of course, we already have conducted the previous steps. The top, stakeholders listing, we already listed all the stakeholders who are a part of this. We already listed the technologies and the practices and so on and so forth, right? And now we are able to conduct that specific thing. Now, I specifically, no, this is normally conducted under the data strategy, under end user interviews, but I split this separately because it's an actionable insights framework. As we list out the key, ask the end user interviews, or if you're going to ask yourself these questions, you need to remove any type of information, any type of questions that are unnecessary. They are surface level because they're not going to be moving the needle, and they are just going to be a distraction to your company. And if you keep them, it can result in no ROI and low adoption rates. We utilize this specific framework, which we basically ask and list out the business questions. We ask why they want to see it, how do they measure success based on that questions. They need to give a particular specific granular answer. Let's say, for an example, for ROAS, they need to ask and answer, if the ROAS is XYZ, then that means it's bad. Why? Because XYY. If ROAS is XYZ, that means that it's good. That's because of this reason, right? And after the last question, we ask what actions are you going to take based on those two answers, and they have to give us specific, accurate, and granular answer, because if there is no answer, that means it's a surface level metric. And after that, we have all of these business questions mapped out, we have all of the requirements mapped out, we have all of the, basically we have every single information that we need. We know now exactly the goals, the needs, the priorities of the top level of the company. You know that we know the processes and the technologies and the tools and the current challenges of the department and the end user level, and we are now able to conduct and prioritize accordingly. We have our business questions mapped out that each executive wants to see and desires to look at, and basically to desires to find out the reason to it. And now we need to prioritize effectively because it's going to be a lot. How we prioritize it, we implement prioritization metrics again, which is based on high business value and high feasibility. And we need to start where there is a high feasibility and the high business value, because it's our low-hanging fruit and that's where our quick wins are. In this example, as you can see here, machine learning pricing model, it's very high business value. Let's say if you're a Netflix company, this is something like a tech company or logistical company or whatever it is, subscription business, very high value for you because you're able to adjust and forecast demand and adapt to do the demand where it is and gain more customers based on changing the pricing constantly, right? Whoever sees it. And this will be a very high business value because it directly impacts revenue and of course directly impacts basically the North Star KPIs. But the problem is it's very low feasibility. Of course, that's especially if you're just starting out. It's very high business value, but if we don't even have a look and see our current top priority North Star metrics, analytical solutions, and actually see the bottlenecks in our systems and processes, that doesn't really make sense because we don't even have a foundational build. That's why, let's say in marketing, in this example, marketing analytics, sales analytics is going to be much more valuable, right? Based on all the information that we gather from the above. And this is where we're going to exactly start. And you're able to map out here the exact solutions. And of course, you're able to map out the exact business questions, meaning you're able to map out here, let's say, okay, CAC, LTV, for example, lead source segmentation. For example, if you're doing this, in this example that I'm just showing you, is it's the exact solutions mapped out, but we often use this also for the exact metrics to showcase on the first solution that we're going to develop. Okay, analytical dashboards. Okay, you want to see CAC segmented by XYZ, LTV, and so on and so forth, right? These are the top lowest hanging fruits, and we're going to implement them right now. Now the last step to do is to create a data roadmap. Okay, you need to able to see when we are going to be conducting and creating this stuff throughout the whole year, meaning every single executive stakeholder needs to be involved and see when they're going to receive the value and how the process is going from 3, 6, 9, 12 months. And we do exactly the same. You're able to see and map out because things are going to change and data has to adapt to your goals, needs, and priorities. And if it doesn't, it's going to be very bad. Okay, it's not going to help you and it's going to become worthless. And with the roadmap, you're able to see the exact steps, the deliverables that it's going to take. We have here, let's say, the exact solution is going to get built and how long it's going to take, what steps are actually taking, and everybody's able to see what's the current process and of this actually to coming to a realization, right? And how this looks like, let me just pop this up. Let me just let me see this. This looks like this. Like sales analytical dashboard, maintenance forecasting, marketing analytical dashboards, and so on and so forth. And everybody's going to be able to see when things are happening, at what stage are we in maintenance, are we adapting this, and so on and so forth. And after this is conducted, only then you're able to start the development process. Nothing before, right? As you're able to see, these are the key steps that you need to take, because with data, you need to start small, think big, because with data, sky is the limit, right? So basically, this is just a summary and a quick video to showcase you the key steps that you need to take before even diving in building something. But if you're looking to actually turn your data into revenue by turning your raw data into actionable insights, building custom data analytical dashboard solutions, and so on and so forth, implementing BI, you can book a call down below with our the data strategy team, and we will give you a free data strategy assessment. You can check our website, and you can also catch us on socials like YouTube, alias Stella, on Twitter under Grandmaster is my username, and of course under LinkedIn as Ali Schiffer. Nice to meet you, and see you in the next video.